The Real Mccoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real Mccoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Say, did you tell me how to get to the Dillingham property?
Oh, yeah, you go right over to the... You say I didn't get you in the Dilly what place?
Dillingham.
Oh, Dillingham. Say, you know, I couldn't understand you. You got a sort of a dry throat.
Well, how do I get there?
You say, you know, there ain't nothing in the world better for a dry throat than a nice glass of cool cider?
Look, all I wanted to know... cider, eh? Homemade?
Yes, sir, and your last chance to fill up before you hit the thruway.
All right, draw me one.
One glass coming up, Luke. 1961. Very good year.
Now, about the Dillingham place. Oh, of course.
Tell them where the Dillingham place is, Luke.
Well, you go down the road about a quarter of a mile, you turn right at the fork, and go up the hill a mile or so.
Of course, if it was the rainy season, you couldn't get nowhere near the property.
Oh, why not?
Well, the creek overflows and washes out the whole place. They have to put in a new bridge every year.
Really gets that bad?
Yes, sir. They call old man Dillingham's place Noah's Ark. He has to keep his socks up in the attic to keep them dry.
Well, I'm certainly glad I stopped here.
Well, that's fine. Say, if you like that cider, would you be interested in a jug?
Okay, it's a deal.
I'll go out the barn and get you one. Won't take a minute.
No, hurry. I'll pick it up on the way back.
Well, we'll have it ready for you when you get here. Glad you stopped by.
So am I. And not just because of the cider.
Well, now, what do you suppose he meant by that?
Well, he should be here any minute.
Now remember, no high pressure. It doesn't work with a big operator like Mr. Martindale.
But this place is going to take a little selling, Jim.
I know.
So we better put this one over. Why we ever bought this acreage in the first place?
Here he is.
How do you do, Mr. Martindale?
Yeah. Gentlemen.
This is Mr. Treemantle and Mr. Burton, the other members of our Civic Improvement Committee.
How do you do, Mr. Treemantle?
Pleasure, Mr. Martindale.
Mr. Burton. So, this is the Dillingham property, eh?
Yes, we have a feeling that this is just the right property for what you have in mind.
I see.
Naturally, we're just as anxious as you are to have the right kind of housing development come in here.
Well, one thing. Coming up the road, I noticed there was a new bridge.
Yes. Your good luck. All for the same price.
What happens around here when it rains?
Think nothing of it.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, that's another plus. The property is generously endowed with ample rainfall.
Now, tell me, which farmhouse do they call Noah's Ark?
Noah's Ark? Well, that's the...
Gentlemen, my houses are one-story houses, which means no attic for people to keep their socks dry.
Mr. Martindale, drainage around here is...
No, Bill. If Mr. Martindale feels this isn't right for him, it just so happens that we have 3 other pieces of property we'd like to show you.
But unfortunately, I have to catch a noon plane to Chicago. See, I have a few problems in a development I'm starting there.
Oh, but you will be coming back this way, though.
Oh, yes, say Thursday. So why don't I look at these other properties then?
Well, that's fine.
We'll look forward to hearing from you.
See you Thursday.
Right.
Have a nice trip.
Bye.
Noah's Ark. I wonder where he found out about that.
He's been talking to someone around here, that's certain.
Well, if Martindale's got a line on this property, the very same thing can happen with the other 3 pieces we have.
I wonder who's giving him his information. Noah's Ark.
Wish I knew. I'd bust him right in the nose.
I don't think that would do much good. If we do find him, I think we'd do much better making him a partner.
Grandpa, I'm surprised at you. Water in the cider.
Well, there's no harm done, Luke. After all, water gets into the roots of the apple trees, goes on up through the limbs and out to the apples. I'm just a sort of saving the trip, that's all. Don't sound exactly right, do it, Luke?
Look, that fella coming back.
Oh, yeah. Remember now, no refunds. My jug ready? All set to go.
Yeah, I'll take that. The grass needs watering.
How much owe you?
Oh, $1. Even's all right.
Right? Here we are.
Thank you. Say, you didn't stay long at the Dillingham place.
No, I didn't have to. I'm looking for land to build houses, not boats.
Oh, now, don't get discouraged. You know, when you're building houses, sometimes it's good places, sometimes it's bad places. Now, you take this place right here.
I know. It's the ideal place. You had lots of offers, but you're going to let me have it for a rock-bottom price.
No, that ain't the case at all. Truth is, anybody'd be crazy to buy this place for houses.
How's that again?
You see, it's too hilly and rocky. It costs a fortune. It'll level it off. It's good for dirt farming, but that's about all.
Sir, my name is C.J. Martindale, and I'd like to shake the hand of an honest man.
Well, my satisfaction. Amos McCoy.
Well, I'm glad to know you, Mr. McCoy.
Say, how about another glass of cider, huh?
Well, no, thanks.
On the house?
No, you see, I don't have much time. I'm on my way to the airport.
Oh, say, well, look, when you're back in this neighborhood, be sure and drop in and see us, huh?
You know, I might just do that. I'll be back later in the week.
Good. There you are. What seems to be the trouble?
Well, whatever it is, looks like I'm going to miss my plane.
You say, have you tried advancing the spark and pulling out the choke?
What do you know? I'm out of gas.
Oh, that's too bad. Hey, say, I'd be glad to drive you over in the company car.
You would?
Sure. And I'll have this all filled up and ready for you when you get back.
Say, that's mighty nice of you. You sure not too much trouble?
Oh, of course not. No.
Let's go.
Mine's an open job.
Thanks again for the lift, Mr. McCoy. I'll pick up the car when I come back Thursday.
Pardon me, Mr. Martindale. Can I get a picture?
I suppose so. Don't go away. Come on, I'll get you in on this.
Amos McCoy, local resident.
What are we waiting for?
Gentlemen. It's quite possible you are looking at the newest member of the Civic Improvement Committee. I hope he's home.
Wait a minute. Here he is now.
He's driving Martindale's car.
Good afternoon, Mr. McCoy. My name is Fancher, James T. Fancher.
Well, howdy.
This is Mr. Burton and Mr. Tremont. How do you do?
How do you do, Howard?
More power to you.
Certainly is a beautiful car.
Yeah, it's good enough to get me to the barn and back. Well, what can I do for you fellas?
Well, we are the members of the Civic Improvement Committee of Valley Town.
Is that right?
Yes. We organized this committee for the good of the community.
Well, that's fine. You know, I'm for them things.
To get to the point, Mr. McCoy, We've decided to enlarge our committee. And we're here to ask if you'd be willing to serve with us.
Me on the committee?
We'd consider it an honor if you'd consent to join us.
Well, I don't see how I could rightly refuse nothing like that. So, gentlemen, I'll be happy to join up with you.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. We meet this evening in the municipal building at 8 o'clock.
Can you make it?
Well, when a man is working for the community, his ain't to question, but to serve.
Good. We'll see you this evening.
Bye. Well, here I be. Amos McCoy, leading citizen.
Well, you look just perfect, Grandpa.
Thank you, Kate.
But I still can't figure how they come to pick you for all this.
Oh, just what do you mean, Luke? This civic improvement stuff is right up my alley. I got a lot of good notions in my head about what should ought to be done to fix up this town.
You have?
I sure have. You know that statue of Paul Revere out in front of the courthouse?
Yeah.
Well, that is in just terrible shape. It's disgraceful. Why, you know the hat he's a-wearing is a rusted clean through.
Grandpa, do you really think you ought to get mixed up in all this?
Yes, I do. There's a lot of other things should be done in this town. And now I can see that they is done. After 60 years of scratching around, I finally got a chance to be somebody.
Grandpa, we're both real happy for you.
Well,
Night.
Night, Grandpa.
good night.
Well, I believe that takes care of the preliminaries. Now for the matter of community improvements.
Yes. Let's get to that.
Yeah, no sense in wasting time.
Well, now there is something I'd like to bring up along them lines.
Yes?
This just come to my attention lately. It's got to do with a very important, famous man.
What is it?
Gentlemen, I think Paul Revere's about due for a new hat.
Did you say Paul Revere?
A new hat?
Yep, his old one's rusted clean through. There must be some place that makes a decent iron hat.
What kind of a suggestion is that?
Look. We ain't going in for big things, important things. Tell him, Jim.
Gentlemen, I agree wholeheartedly with Mr. McCoy.
You do?
Yes, Mr. Burton. Mr. Treemantle, make a note. Check on Paul Revere's hat. Most vital. Excellent suggestion, Mr. McCoy. You're justifying our faith in you already.
Well, it won't nothing.
Now, I think we should consider the important subject of housing in our community.
Now you're talking.
That's very important.
It so happens, Mr. McCoy, that one of the country's biggest builders, Mr. C.J. Martindale, is considering building a tract of houses in our area.
Yeah? I know he's a good friend of mine.
At any rate, we of the Improvement Committee have decided to recommend one of these 3 sites to him.
Yes, we feel they'd be ideal for his purposes.
Well, just them 3, huh? They sure must be other good spots, too.
No. We've checked the area. These are the best.
Now, of course, the only thought of this committee is to work for the betterment of the community. Now that we've narrowed it down to the 3 sites.
I'd like to take a look at some other...
Mr. McCoy, Valleytown is not an ungrateful community. And in return for giving of your valuable time and energy to this project, you will receive a fee of something like, shall we say, $5,000.
$5,000?
Oh, this is a very generous community, Mr. McCoy.
I never had no idea there was any pay connected with this thing.
Well, in a case like this where the community will profit, it's usual.
Now, what about you fellas? You get a fee, too?
Suffice it to say that we, too, will benefit for our efforts.
I see. And I suppose it all hinges on Mr. Martindale buying one of them 3 properties?
Yeah, that's right.
And we are in hopes that you will join with us in convincing Mr. Martindale that one of these sites will be ideal for him.
Then we can count on you to see eye to eye with us when we sit down with Martindale?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Boy, this is a night we'll all remember.
I should say so. Congratulations.
What is it, Mr. McCoy?
Oh, nothing. Nothing, Atom. I was just wondering how much water you fellas would put in the siding.
Well, how'd it go, Grandpa?
Yeah, what all happened?
All right. Just a meeting, that's all.
Oh, Grandpa, would you like some coffee? I just made a pot fresh.
No, thank you, Kate. I reckon to go to bed. And then again, I might well tell you now as any time. Luke, you was right. Them fellas don't care a hoot about Amos McCoy. They just wanted someone to help them sell a piece of property to Mr. Martindale.
So that was it.
Imagine me thinking I was getting up in the world. Guess it's one on me. Kind of funny, wasn't it?
Now, Grandpa, it weren't that way at all.
Grandpa, them fellas ain't worth bothering about. Just forget it. You don't never have to see them again.
Oh, but I do, Luke. The fact is, I got to see him one more time. Thursday, when Mr. Martindale gets back.
Why bother?
Well, it's important. Them fellas said that tonight was something they'd always remember. And I just got to see to it that they does.
Well, it's nice to see you again, Amos. And I must say I'm pleasantly surprised to find that you're a member of this group.
Well, thank you, Mr. Martindale.
Well, Mr. Martindale, I know your time is limited, so we can get right to the business at hand.
Well, that suits me fine.
Now, these are the 3 pieces of property that we mentioned to you. All quite unusual. Mr. McCoy has been checking them out.
Good. Like to hear what he has to say about it.
Well, Mr. Fancy here is right. These properties is all quite unusual. Now, you take Hidden Acres right here. Yeah, it's just a ticket if you're looking for a place that's real quiet.
And it's secluded.
Now, that's the word exactly. Secluded. In fact, it's the most secluded place I ever seen. It's secluded miles from roads, schools, electricity, gas, water, and people.
Well, I guess we can eliminate that.
What's he trying to do? Relax. He can handle it. Knock the first, helps him set up the next.
Now, number 2 right here, Meta Estates. This property is near to everything.
Very central location.
And it's got lots of atmosphere.
And next year it'll have even more atmosphere when they build that tannery next door. Why, the air around that place will be so thick you can sew buttons on it.
Well, we can forget about that one, too.
Stop this maniac. Take it easy. It's the oldest trick in the books. Priming him for the grand finale.
And now, which brings us to number 3 right here. You see, that's Viewcrest Hills. Now, this place is near everything. No problems with factories and such like, and I hear the price is right.
How do I get to it?
Well, that's easy. In fact, I don't even think you have to go up to get to it.
Oh?
No. You see, the land up there is so loose that it'll all slide down here before you can get up there.
Gentlemen, I don't understand. None of these places seem at all suitable.
Yeah, there is one. Just one other place. Now, it's between Barton and Elm Street, right in here, you see. Now, there's level, convenient, all improvements. It's just got everything you can think of. Everything. And here's the layout right here.
No ifs, ands, or buts about this one, Amos?
Nope.
Good. Well, while there's still daylight, I think I'll drive out and look at it.
Well, that's a good idea.
Barton Place in Elm, you say?
Yeah, that's right, yes.
Right. Well, now, thank you for your help, gentlemen. I'll check with you in the morning.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Well, you're nothing but a crook.
Are you taking money behind our backs?
Simmer down. Simmer down. If Martindale takes that place, it means a better deal for all of us.
You mean we can talk business with the owner?
Of course. We'll buy an option on his property and squeeze a neat profit in 24 hours.
Yes, but we've got to work fast. Now, how do we get to the owner?
Oh, that's as easy as pie. He's waiting in the next room.
And then... Oh. Oh, you're a sly one, McCoy. You really are. I must admit, for a moment there, you had me worried. Gentlemen, my hat is off to a real businessman.
But you just bring him in. He won't have a prayer.
Would you come in, please?
Yes, do come on. Reverend Digby? It's your land?
That's right. It belongs to the church.
It's strange, but he don't seem to be the type who wouldn't have a prayer.
Gentlemen, this sale will be a godsend. The money will help pay off our mortgage and add a Sunday school room. And it certainly proves your qualifications as unselfish public servants. Our thanks to you, Mr. McCoy. You'll continue working with the committee, won't you?
Oh, sure. When's the next meeting, fellas?
Well, it so happens that I've been devoting so much of my time to this work that I've neglected my own business. I'm afraid I'm going to have to resign. Excuse me.
My position is practically the same, gentlemen. I expect you'll have to do without me also.
You can count me out. I just don't have the time.
Just when we're doing such great work, too. Well, I guess that leaves me all alone, Reverend.
Oh, I'm sure other people will volunteer, Mr. McCoy.
Yeah, I suppose so.
In the meantime, I'll be very happy to work with you on any problems that might come up.
Well, now, that's mighty nice of you, Reverend.
In work of this kind, I know a lot of important matters can come up. Maybe a little too much for one man to handle.
Yeah, that's right.
So anytime you need my help, don't hesitate to call on me.
Oh, I won't, no. Oh, Reverend.
Yes?
Do you know anybody that makes a good iron hat?